Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Live with Lamar. I'm your host, Lamar, and guess what, guys? It is Juneteenth week. You know, our of actual of Independence Day. They actually just passed it in Congress. They're making it an official holiday, and soon it'll actually be like a national holiday. So we're waiting for the House to hopefully pass it, and then it'll be official. But welcome to another episode of Live with Lamar. Got a very dope episode with you guys today. Another dope individual, extraordinary individual with an exclusive interview. So we're going to tap in with my boy Brian, who has a lot to talk about with his annual block parties, which are going to be kicking off this weekend with the Juneteenth celebration. I'm excited. This is like, I've heard a lot about this guy and I've heard a lot about this party. So I'm just excited to be outside. LA is officially open up as of today. So like no mask, nothing. Like we can be outside, like turning up. We was the first state to shut down. Now we're the first state to reopen. So I'm super excited to get in the mix of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap in with my boy, so we can get started and we can talk about this block party. Appreciate everybody that's tapped in. Shout out to y'all on time today. Y'all actually rocking with the kid. Any other day y'all don't like me, but I'm gonna be grateful. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Hope everybody's having a good week. My guy.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm amazing.
I know you busy.
You saw earlier 15 different things going on, man.
I know you busy, but I appreciate you for taking time out your busy schedule to sit down with me and chop it up, and so we can talk about this block party that I've heard so much about. I keep hearing about it, but I'm hoping to get a chance to finally experience it this weekend.
Well, what I love to say is that words don't teach like experiences do. And so when you experience the block party, then you will understand why you've heard so much. And I say that with not a level of arrogance. I say that a level of confidence and confidence as to what we have curated and we continue to curate on an annual basis. And it's such a pleasure to bring it back this year. And I appreciate you inviting me to Lamar with Lamar Live, so we can
of course.
Thank you, bro.
It's a special place to be, so welcome to the cream of the crop. You are now included, you're inducted. But tell those who don't know who you are, who is Brian Henry?
Brian Henry, that's my name. Formerly known as DJ B-Hen. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a military brat. I lived a little bit everywhere all over this country because of my dad's service in the Army. But like I said, I'm from Baltimore. All my family's in Baltimore, except both of my younger brothers. They also live here in LA. And I am a professional DJ and event planner. And I've been doing that for the last, it will be 11 years this summer. So wow. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, for real. What I love so much about being in the space of being a DJ is really seeing people light up and move their body and release their stress and really enjoy life in a way that's different than their day-to-day. You know what I mean? So I love rocking crowds. I love partying. I love partying responsibly and encouraging other people to do the same thing.
Do you remember your first ever party that you DJ'd?
Yes, I sure do.
Where was it and what was the event?
It was the old hotel, a downtown party for a 50th birthday party, and I was told in no short order that you suck. And they definitely told me that I was trash. And funny enough, it was an artist, it was a band member from the old group City High. He had come over, he was just like, bro, you suck, you terrible. And, obviously I didn't take too kindly to it at the time, but I did appreciate the frankness of his comments. And that then took me back into the lab, and I own my craft in a way that they don't say that no more.
Wow, that is kind of like, yeah, at least he was blunt. I mean, a lot of people, I think when you're in a certain space, especially within the entertainment space, a lot of peers, friends, people don't ever want to tell you the truth because they don't want to shut down your dreams. But it's like, how do I get better within my field if you don't tell me that I need to improve? And so I guess you got to appreciate the old man.
Yeah. And funny enough, his advice wasn't even constructive. It was just like, I'm just going to tell you suck. But nonetheless, I still took it as constructive. And like I said, went back into the lab. And trust me, to your point, like I certainly believe that iron sharpens iron. Those who are coming up in the industry that I'm in, I'm always that guy to kind of give a few tidbits of advice. Because when I started, there was definitely heads that was kind of throwing the Heisman on me a little bit. Like they were not trying to talk to me at all, but now those are my peers. So it's all love. I just do my best to pay it forward.
I like it. And like you just said, now you're getting back into this. And from where, at least when I grasped, it seemed like you kind of been away a little bit, kind of getting back to yourself, trying to find, I guess, I don't want to say find, but like refocus, get yourself back together, rebrand, and come back to who Brian Henry is. Why don't you tell a little bit about why you took a break and what are you focusing on now that you're back?
No, that's a great question. I appreciate it. I took a break because I was tired.
I'm tired, nigga.
I'm tired. I don't know if you ever seen that little meme with a little boy. It's like, I'm tired of this church.
I'm tired.
That was me. I'm like, I'm tired of this life. And it's interesting because the thing is such a challenge for you to allow yourself to even be tired, because like, how dare I be tired when these are the things that I prayed for and God saw fit enough for me to be blessed with the opportunities to crisscross applesauce all over the country and all over the world for that matter, doing what I love, which is bringing music to people in a way that, again, relieves them of that stress and allows them to dance. I once upon a time prayed that, one day I want to be good enough that I get flued out, that I get the opportunity to go to different places and DJ. And that became the bulk of my work. I was on the road at that point, it's coming up on my 11th anniversary of being a full-time DJ. And so prior to the pandemic, I was on the road for about 6.5 years. And sometimes I'll be on the road for 17 days straight, DJing in different markets in different cities. And so as you can imagine, that becomes very taxing and tiring on your body. I wasn't the guy to necessarily, sit down. And some people would DM me like, bruh, I see your stories and you just making me tired just from the stories. I'm like, no, I'm good. But it's not until the pandemic came along that I realized I actually wasn't. I was very exhausted. And so it served as a great opportunity for me to just be still. I believe that you can grow a lot in movement, but you can grow exponentially when you combine stillness with movement. You can really hear God's voice. And so that it also corresponds to your point, the name change. I've been operating as B-Hen. B-Hen was a nickname that was given to me in college. But as I get older, I don't want to operate it as a truncated or condensed version of myself. I had to expand back into the fullness of who I am. And that's always been Brian Henry. And so that's what I perform as now, Brian Henry, my full self.
I like that, and a lot of people don't know that even by myself. But I had a different, like a whole different stage name I used to go by before I decided to go out my legal name, which is Lamar, because it was B-Rob. That was my thing. It was B-Rob. My first legal name was actually Brandon. Surprise. And so I went by B-Rob as like that guy B-Rob. Like, I'm your host B-Rob. Like, that was who I was. But then before I moved here, like in August, I went through a name change. Lamar is my middle name, and I was like, I like Lamar Robinson. Like, could I see myself, when I get to the next chapter of my career, being a B-Rob? Like, it didn't feel like who I was. And as soon as I changed to Lamar and Lamar Robinson, like, I felt great about, like, it's just a full embodiment of like maturity, growth, the next level of being suave, sophisticated on the map, and that's really what I wanted. So I definitely feel you on that whole name change, because it's like, it's a new chapter. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to be B-Hen, but now it's time for Brian Henry to really, 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 like, snap.
That part. And it's funny, somebody in the comments said they were confused. They were like, Lamar?
Right. So that's a lot.
I get it. And to that point, some folks still call me B-Hen. I'm never going to be like, nah, don't call me that. It's still a term of endearment, still something love. And with when you become a man, you got to put away some of those childish things. So I totally understand the transition.
Yeah, and one thing that you just said, and one thing I think I recognize or even just observe about you is that you're good at not just taking care of yourself, your mind, your body, taking a break. And I think that's one thing I struggle with is like how to take a break from like social media and like being busy and being on the map and being on the floor like all the time. It's like I never can take a step back. And my brain gets super overloaded. Like I get overly stressed, I get overboard, and I'm just like, because my mind is constantly going. What are some tips you have for somebody that's going through that type of thing with me? Or what are some strategies that you personally do to kind of keep yourself on a straight and narrow path to be focused on your goal?
Meditate, pray, turn the phone off, set it to the side, be still. Our culture and our westernized culture and society we live in won't encourage you to do that. It's all about hustle. At a certain point, I learned to abandon the hustle and focus more on the alignment, because what's for you won't ever pass you. You can't even mess up something that's for you. There's been opportunities where I missed a phone call, or, the client didn't want the rate that we were given, or something went awry with an opportunity I may have wanted. And I got so upset that I would get to the point where I'm like doing anything to try to scramble to get that gig back. But what I realized, again, that what is for you won't pass you. oftentimes the thing that we're hustling for isn't required for us to hustle. It's required for us to lean into who God made us already, be the best version of that person, and the opportunities that are meant for you will naturally attract themselves to you. But the whole point of me even saying meditate is because when your brain is scattered between Twitter, Instagram, this social media app, this phone call, this text, this person, this da. When it's so scattered, you don't have the mental or spiritual energy to focus on what your true gift is. So the more that you're able to focus and go within, then everything on the outside takes care of itself.
I think that's important to know. Like like you said, I think a lot of people in the industry and entertainment, they don't know how to slow down, how to just sit down, because it's created to be such a fast-paced, on-the-go lifestyle to where people get lost. And like meditation is something that I've thought about. I know you go hiking a lot, which I haven't even been hiking yet. I haven't been to no hike trails out here yet. So I'm gonna have to come on y'all little brotherhood. Yeah, I know.
Come on, man, you slipping.
I'm gonna have to come. I'm gonna be at the next one.
No, I'm part of a group called Black Men Hike LA. And I mean, I always being here at Cali, I'll say that Cali made me more of an outdoor head. You know, being here, you have access to great weather 95% of the year. And so one of my responses to, I'm a rebel by heart. You tell me the pandemic, be inside. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do the direct opposite, but still doing so in a safe way. And one of Deepak Chopra's, one of his 7 spiritual laws of success was to be with nature. And so one of my ways is I kept my body COVID-free, and where I kept my mind sane and present in the midst of all the turmoil that was going on in our country 2020. During the previous year, I would go hiking. I spent a lot of time out in nature, and just because people started seeing that I was doing this, and some of my homies would come, and then I was connected with an awesome group called Black Men Hike LA, who literally, that's what we do. We get a bunch of brothers together, and we all go hiking the first Saturday every month. So it's a great opportunity because you can see so many different aspects of the outdoor terrain here in LA, but it's also something to unwind and be present to your own body.
I'm at the next one, I promise.
All right, it's 4th of July weekend. I'm gonna hold you to that. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I don't want to hear like, yo, so what happened was I was at the barbecue and
right. No, I'm gonna be there. I got you. I'm gonna come. I seen it when you posted. I was like, yeah, I want to go. So I'm gonna make the strong effort to be there for that one.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it. let's
so
get it.
That tuned in, of course, I'm doing my interview with B-Hen. We're getting ready to talk about actually the Juneteenth party. So make sure y'all tap on him and follow him if you don't follow him already to follow up the party, because this Saturday is going down here in downtown LA. But now we're speaking about Juneteenth block party. Let's talk about that. What can the people expect from this? First off, let's rewind back. What made you even want to do this Juneteenth celebration? What does Juneteenth even mean to you?
Sure. I mean, it means Black freedom. And I mean, obviously, there's no better time for you to feel free. And that's even what those hikes are about for me. Like, those hikes are about me being free. There's media and will have you think that every Black man is being killed. And my heart and condolences goes out to those families who suffered, that loss. And we have the opportunity to be present to our own bodies and celebrate the freedom of our own Black expression without the constraints or confines or worry about how we're being perceived in the eyes of others. This is not our first time hosting this event on Juneteenth. We've hosted it. This is our button just popped up on me.
Look at that.
At a certain point, I have to tell myself to put my phone down as well. No, but this is our 9th time activating the Block Party experience here in Los Angeles. We even took it an additional time out to Coachella and activated as a weekend 2 after party. And so we've hosted it twice prior on Juneteenth, so this will be our 3rd time operating on Juneteenth. It's just that the country is becoming more present to the significance of Juneteenth. When I was in high school, I had the unique opportunity to attend upward bound math and science programs at Texas Southern University. And, you're in high school, 10th, 11th grade, living on a college campus, your first real experience with being on a college campus, and a Black college campus. But particularly because that college is in Houston, I had the opportunity to become firsthand experience with the significance of Juneteenth. For those who don't know, who may be on here, is that our ancestors who were enslaved and were freed through the Emancipation Proclamation in 1865, that communication did not land in Texas until 2 years later in 1867. And so the colonizers in Texas were taking advantage of our ancestors for an additional 2 years beyond the time frame in which we were free. You know what I mean? And so once Black people acquired that information, it became a huge celebration in the state of Texas and southern Louisiana, by which we celebrate our freedom in Juneteenth. And it's always the 10th weekend of June each and every year. And so it's significant because now that we are free, we are able to go back outside post-pandemic. Exactly. We outside. It was important to make sure that we come to you with a very quality, well thought out, well curated activation and event, and that being the B-Hen Block Party this Saturday night.
That's dope. I'm there. I like I said, I'm there. I'm on time. I'm there. I'm lit. I'm turning up. I'm doing all these great things. I'm excited, man. I just know it's gonna be like a celebration, and I like the idea that your goal with it is to make it be like very inclusive. You don't want nobody to feel left out. And there's no sections. There's nobody's bottle, no bottle. There's nothing. Everybody's together. Ain't no VIP. Ain't no everybody's together. And I think that's important, especially again because with LA, everything is so dehydrated. That's okay. Let me make sure I keep note of that. That it's important out here because a lot of people, everything in LA can be so exclusive, invite only. You got to spend this amount of money to get a table, have ladies, But your block party is literally the opposite of that, which I think is why it is so successful. It makes it its own thing. She said, "No."
Yeah, man. Exclusivity is for insecure people. We off that. We really focus on inclusivity. We want to respect the uniqueness of everyone in our community. The Black diaspora is vast. We have people from Nigeria and people from the Caribbean, people from different pockets of the states. We have straight people, gay people, people following on the whole LGBTQ plus spectrum. We have artists, we have athletes, we have scientists. We have people from across the board that don't always get highlighted, particularly in a market like Los Angeles. In the Hollywood experience, it tends to be those, in a lot of nightclub environments, it's the have and the have-nots. Those who can afford to get in, those who can afford bottle service, those who can afford to be in a section, or those who are pretty enough, quote unquote, or got the swag enough. And I saw that to be a perpetual problem. When I was starting my career, I realized a lot of people were concerned about going out because the girls would be like, well, are my heels high enough? Is my dress tight enough? And the guys be like, am I gonna have to pay $1,000? I gotta get 5 of my homies to chip in on this bottle. And so I wanted to create an environment that was the antithesis of that. I wanted to create an environment where we all got together and really celebrate it as one. To me, music is love. Music conjoins. Music brings us together. And anything that separates us is not love, and therefore, for me, it doesn't represent the essence of music. And so, to even expound on that, the DJs that we bring on for the block party, I encourage each and every one of you. Play for me what you would play if it was just you, me, and the homies at the crib. Play for me that thing that your heart desires. Play for me the thing that you love. Play for me that remix of K-Tronada meets Drake meets Marvin Gaye, with a sprinkle of Brazilian funk up in there. Like, play for me the thing that's not top 40s, mainstream, etc. Because in doing so, the vibration that's coming from you, you're into it. And even if the crowd hasn't heard it before, they're like, oh shit, what is this? You know what I mean? And that energy permeates from the DJ, reverberates into the crowd, and it drives people to dance. If you come to my party, you are dancing. We intentionally don't even give you seats or sections to sit down because you're going to dance all night long. I had girls calling me now, you owe me because I got to get a fresh press after I done sweat out my hair at your party, or, and I love to hear stuff like that because, again, it's the antithesis of those events that people think is all LA. LA is not all pretentious. You're just going to the wrong place. And so I hope that folks shift their energy and continue to realize that exclusivity is for those who are insecure. We off that.
And I seen you repost some that I'm glad that he posted it. I'm glad you reposted it. Some girl said, it's not sure you wear your fancy heels and your tight dresses. You come in your sneakers with your nice short, and you come in to dance and have a good time. I think it's a very important message for people to know because I was going to go out here and probably get a nice little fit, but now I know I can be a little more comfortable. Still fresh, but a little more comfortable fit.
Yeah, you can. Listen, you want to come in sweats and some J's. I wouldn't even bring my J's because you might mess your J's up. But like, if you just be fresh and be comfortable. Like, be comfortable. That's what it's really about. Like I said, because in being comfortable, you get to be present. So yeah, it's girls, leave your heels at home. Fellas, check your egos at the door because none of that is welcome. It's all love.
Everyone,
shout out to the DJ fam was in the comments. I see M Square coming down from Florida. Ola, what's up? LA. Ola is going to Chicago this weekend. She gonna miss it, but it's all good.
Yes. Everybody said they're gonna be there this Saturday. I better see all y'all. And if you see me speak, please. You know what I mean? I'm trying to meet everybody that's out here so we can wrap it up and talk or whatever, because it's gonna be quite the celebration, I'm sure. You're gonna have vendors this weekend too, right?
Yeah, so we have food provided by Castle's Catering. She's from New Orleans. She's my Spelman sister. She specializes in Creole cuisine. Malachi loves to call her food ghetto gourmet.
Listen, I'm from Florida, so I'm excited that she coming because I need that Southern real food. Ooh. That just got me excited.
And that's one thing I want to take the time to highlight. You know, this isn't a response to the pandemic. During our last block party in 2019, my team and I hired a proponent and a perpetual supporter of Black business, from the 18 security guards to all the folks on the catering team, the videographer, photographer, sound tech team. It is always my intention to hire as many Black people as possible, because circulating that dollar in our community is how we continue to be empowered to live out our dreams and live our best lives. You know what I mean?
I love that, man. Make sure y'all tap in. Get your tickets now. Tickets are on sale. Hit the link in his bio. Cop your ticket now. Come out. Turn up with me. Turn up with B-Hen. Turn up with Brian. Turn up with everybody, because it's gonna be a celebration. I mean, it's Juneteenth on Saturday. Like, it all worked out as it needed to. So I already know it's gonna be like quite the celebration. So everybody should out about it.
And we had to increase the ticket price this year, which was I did not want to increase the ticket price, but the price on everything has gone up. The inflation post-pandemic is real. I'm like, Lord have mercy.
But honestly, it's not even that bad. Some people pay way more than that. I don't think 40 is a lot, bro. That's a pretty solid price, bro. I think everybody should be able to get that.
You know, and listen, we do our best to make sure that everyone is supported. So, you know, we've done some ticket giveaways as well. So listen, you know, just want everybody to be in attendance. Everybody have a good time.
I love that. So one thing that I was saying, we talked about this a little bit the other day. You know, I work with Malachi, and Malachi is one of the biggest reasons why I ended up getting out here, and he helped me get my start and get in the mix of whatever the case may be, which I'm extremely always grateful for. You helped him in the same light and helped him get his shit out here. So it's always funny and dope how full circle everything came around, because it's from you to him to me. I guess I got to do the same thing to somebody else. So it's dope. Like, how important is that to you as far as like sowing seeds into other people, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry?
I think it's extremely important. I think it's something that we don't do enough as a community within entertainment. And with Malachi, it was easy because Malachi, a lot of people want to be the man, but I've learned that you have to be in service to someone else before you can be the man. And I don't even think at that time I was the man. I wasn't feeling like the man. I was feeling like I was having a movement in terms of what we were doing for our breast cancer events. I have a nonprofit, Beats to Beat Breast Cancer. We raise funds on an annual basis to eradicate breast cancer, again, particularly in the African-American community. And I didn't know Malachi at all, you know, but there was a friend of mine who had sourced some folks to volunteer. And she had one of her younger homegirls to come. And then that young lady brought Malachi. And so they were helping set up and get everything together. And once she got finished setting up, she was like, "Can I leave?" And we looked at her like, "Yeah, girl, go ahead. You can go." And so she left, but Malachi stayed. And so Malachi stayed throughout the event. We kept in contact. And that's something to be said about willing to be of service. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. He just knew that he was willing to come to this event and volunteer as we were setting up to raise funds for breast cancer awareness. But what he didn't realize is that we were looking for an intern. And so we reached out to him maybe like a week later, like, "Hey, we think you have great personality, great energy. Would you be interested in interviewing for this?" And he's like, "Yeah." And we met with him, and we met with like 3 other people at the time, but it was already a no-brainer that he was the guy that we wanted to go with. And then from there, that has blossomed into him owning his own business, Hire Creative, being the agency of choice for a lot of Black creators here in Los Angeles. I'm extremely and overwhelmingly proud of the foundation that he's been able to build, and if working with me as one of the first clients, or the first client, serves as the launch pad from that, and it's a blessing. I feel like we've done our job, you know what I mean? So now that he's able to pay it forward to you, and I just did the same thing, you pay it forward to the next person, you know?
I'll think about it. But nah, it's definitely dope. Yeah, nah, like it's dope, and I see it, and I'm learning a lot too. You know what I mean? And I think that's even how Malachi gave me the opportunity that I have, because I'm just trying to learn as much as I even can through everybody, and I gotta learn from you two and learn from the whole game, so we can just keep it going and keep it moving.
You can't. You joined the team when I was on hiatus, so now you about to. We're circling back.
Right, and outside opening up, so it's like a whole nother thing, because that's one thing Malachi kept saying is, when outside open up, it just kept saying when outside opens up. Now outside is open, so I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna get into.
And I think that's a great distinction, because a lot of people are like, so what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, so like, how are you pivoting your business, and how are you this, and how are you doing it? I'm like, I'm not. So you're not gonna do the online DJing thing? I'm like, nah. I did a few. You know what I mean? And the blessing, and this is something I always encourage those who are in entertainment, do your best to maximize on your education, because it's something that in a time of turmoil, you can always fall back on. You know, I was an economics major in undergrad, and so it gave me overwhelming confidence, you know, as a Morehouse man and being an economics major, understanding that and during these downtimes, there's a class of people who fall further behind, and a class of people who go further ahead. And I say that to say, like, I just understand economic cycles, so I wasn't afraid to be still and take some time off, and I didn't have to feel the need to overexert myself. I have no trust fund. I have no parents giving me anything. It was just a matter of being smart and wise with the money and applying for every government program. I collected unemployment, sure did, and had no qualms about it, because it was the first time in modern day history where someone who's a sole proprietor or someone who's the owner of an LLC was able to collect unemployment. But if that's what was required in order to push forward to sustain myself through the pandemic, as well as applying for the grants, the PPP loan, and all of the forgivable loans and things that we have opportunity to do so, I was like, well, let me go ahead and do that, and then rest and be still and be COVID free versus overexerting my energy and doing something I didn't really want to do. I love my DJ family. I love those who were able to engage us online throughout this entire pandemic. I had a lot of great times checking out my homies DJing. And for me, I love people in real life, and so I couldn't be on the screen all day. You know what I mean? So it was just a great opportunity to be still, reset, and all this pent up energy is coming right for everybody's necks.
That's exactly what it is, and I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing to know, because I think that everybody felt like they had to maneuver and switch some things around because of it. And go ahead.
I want to give a shout out. My bad. I'm going to cut you out. I want to give a shout out to Blue Centric, who's in the comments. I hope that she's still. What up, Blue? I hope that you're still present here in the chat. One of the things that gave me so much conviction and a deeper understanding of who I am during this pandemic is understanding astrology. And some of my first understanding on a deeper level of astrology came through watching Blue's videos during the pandemic. She broke it down. She was just like, you know, you people say your sun sign, that ain't giving you enough. A sun sign is just like saying I'm black. What kind of black are you? You're black Caribbean, you're black from New Orleans, you're black from Texas. Right. Like what? It's so many different layers, and through watching her videos, I was able to understand your sun sign, your Venus, your Mars, your Jupiter, and how each of these is placed in a particular astrological sign. And then from there, each of those signs is then placed in a house. And the placement of where you were born, based on longitude, latitude, and the city and time of when you were born, gives so much insight to the things that are happening in your life. And so by studying the astrology of when I was born, I understood that this time was just meant. It was time, and it allowed me to more deeply understand the gifts that God has given me and why I'm able to show up in a certain way and get certain results. So big shout out to Blue. You know, I'm not sure if anybody goes in as depth in the comments to tell you, but I overwhelmingly appreciate your dedication to something that more of us need to learn more about. And yeah, if you in LA, come to the block party. I got you. I need to give you a big old hug this weekend.
Yeah, Blue's a dope individual. She has a lot of knowledge and she thinks on a whole nother different level than most people. So she gonna keep you in your toes. As soon as she said protect your peace, I ain't gonna go Blue, feeding the energy. Yeah, y'all gonna be outside turning up, that's cool. But y'all need to make sure y'all protect y'all energy as well. So that's a very important message for us all to be thinking about as we move forward and getting things. So like for sure.
Yeah, send a big love to you, Blue. Appreciate it. Hugs right on back. So I'm sorry I cut you off. I had to give you a love.
You good, bro. You good. So I was saying that, you know, one thing that you didn't do was you didn't conform your energy and conform your events to where everybody thought they had to. They're like, in social media, I mean, we're outside, we're in the house, so how are you going to configure your business to work for you? It worked for some people, but then at the same time, it kind of didn't work for a lot of people, and it made you not be really true to who you were within that sense. So now that outside is open, and now that everything is getting back in the thing, and now Brian Henry is here, you know what I mean? He is here. What are some things that you're working on that people can expect from you in this new chapter of your life?
I mean, they can expect me to just simply be more present. You know, I think that's what I expect of myself. I think in previous moments I was fighting for confidence, and I'm not moving from that space anymore. I'm moving from a deep level of confidence, you know what I mean? Learning that I am not walking on this path and on this earth alone. There is God within me. And as long as I continue to tap in and align with what God, and I pray on a daily basis for two things: to experience, I want today to experience heaven on earth, you know, because I don't believe heaven and hell are destinations. I very much believe that they are states of being. And I believe that we're spiritual beings before human. And so if I'm already experiencing heaven here on earth, then whenever that time comes for me to transition, you know, I'm already in that state of being, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I pray to move with the heart of God. I pray to really be patient with myself, with others, and to just really move from that heart space and understand, well, what would God have me do in this moment? And that's just a big shift for me in comparison to the overthinker that I have previously been, and thinking that I need to go do everything for everybody everywhere. You know, like that's not necessarily the case. So more than anything else, I really hope that everybody can experience me being present, because I want to be present as well. And so with that being said, you already know that these events are going to happen, and we're going to bring energy all summer long. So yeah.
All energy, all summer long. That is dope. Let everybody know how they can tap in. I think that's a perfect way to even wrap up and get things going. How can the folks tap in with you that aren't tapped in with you to keep up with everything that we're finna get from B-Hen, Brian Henry this summer?
Sure. I mean, we post, and I'm gonna do a better job of posting more. But the key things that need to be posted are always on social media at It's Brian Henry, and I spend a lot of time on the stories as well. So just tap into what we're doing, man. Like again, and these events are not about me. I'm just serving as the vessel by which they flow. They're really about Black people feeling loved, and Black people connecting, and Black people having a good ass time. So
Yes.
by all means, please join us. Please be responsible. I'm praying for everybody's safety throughout this weekend, that we get to and fro the event in one piece, and that we are free from police interaction, and that we turn up. Like, again, no room for pretense, no room for anything that is, you know, that's not of love. So
No
just
negativity.
Come through. And one key thing, I want to give a big shout out to the Lamar Park Rising team. Huge. I live in Lamar Park. Shout out to the Black neighborhood. Huge daytime event in Lamar Park that's completely free. I encourage everyone to come out to that as well. You know, it is a celebration of Black culture on Juneteenth. They had it last year, and it was like 10,000 people there. So this year, we already know it's going to be like 15,000 people. Shout out to Quest Coast and Freckles and Adis and Fred McNeil and the whole entire team who's putting that on. I'm blessed to have a DJ set there at 4 p.m. And then after that, we're going to the after party. And that's the block party.
And we outside this weekend. Yo, everybody, it's been a pleasure chatting with you, Brian, of course. Everybody that's tapped in, of course, my name is Lamar, and I appreciate y'all for joining as well. Make sure y'all follow me and stay tuned for all of my updates and all my exclusive interviews with extraordinary individuals like Brian. It's always
Much love, man. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you making that transition on a whole lot of faith to work with the extended team, and I'm excited to see what you create as you continue to unfold here in LA. Now as outside is open, let's get to it.
I got some work to do. I know you're gonna be right there in my corner, so you already know I'm gonna
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you, bro, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody else, for tapping in. We will see y'all this weekend at the annual Juneteenth party. And with that, happy Taco Tuesday, and we out.